right, everybody. So today we got our live calling session kicking off. I'm going to be cold calling commercial property owners. Again, this is an old list. You guys have heard me talk about certain lists before. This one, I think it's about 2,000 property owners, a mix of motivations. The way that I would even try to tell you to filter your list, by the way, a big thing that I've learned, property owners who've owned the property for more than 10 years and have very, very low debt on the property. Again, I'm using a triple line dialer. I have my settings set up to 4 rings on Mojo. I already have my callback message recorded, and I already have my voicemail recorded. So those are my settings.
Hello.
Hey, John?
No, John.
I'm sorry. I was looking for the property owner.
No, you're in the wrong place.
I'm in the wrong place. I'm sorry about that. Listen, I don't know if you could help me out, but I'm a local investor here in town, and I was just calling to see if you might consider selling your property. I don't know if you have any properties you might consider selling.
No, I'm in senior housing. You got the wrong numbers, man.
Senior housing. I understand. Well, listen, I hope you have a fantastic day, okay?
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hi. I'm sorry. I was looking for the property owner.
What do you want with him?
I'm a local investor here in town, and I just wanted to give him a call to see if you might consider selling the property. I'm trying to buy the property next door, and figured I'd give you a ring.
Yeah, I'm the property owner of that.
Okay, pleasure to meet you. Again, my name is Henry. I'm a local investor in town, and I'm looking to move some money for a 1031 exchange for myself and for one of my partners. So I'm just curious if you might consider selling the property.
No, I'm not really. What are you looking to put on it?
I mean, honestly, I'm just looking for a strict investment. Like maybe we'd develop it down the road, but nothing immediate.
I get it. Yeah. No, I pretty much accumulate property in that corridor, Route 18, Route 1. So.
Well, let me ask you a question. I obviously know that you're operating this pretty well. I'm just curious, though. I mean, if I had a property off market, could I bring it to you that's in this area?
Yeah, you could do that. It's got to be commercial, though.
How big of a property are you looking for minimally? I know commercial. I know it needs to be in this area.
I'm not looking for anything, but I have anything from 2 acres to 10 acres on major highways. Route 1, Route 18, Route 22.
18,
Route
22.
17.
Yeah, 17.
Small properties don't really help me. I don't think you try to get the right if you want McDonald's or something or a bank, you guys. But
understood. Why don't we do this? What's your cell phone number? Okay, fantastic. You got it. Thank you. I'm looking at right now through Reonomy. I mean, this guy owns probably, I don't know, 30 properties. When it comes to my scripting, I'll heads or tails it in the sense of with my opening line, whether I want to be the investor or if I want to be the broker, depending on how they're responding to me. You know, if this guy's getting a little pushy, right? The more pushback that they have about the cold call, the more I want to be the investor. Because if I'm the principal buyer, they typically will treat me differently than hey, I'm just a commercial broker calling in the area. If they're really nice and kind and like their energy seems really uplifting and good, and it sounds like they're happy in the moment, then I'll just be the broker because it's not going to affect anything. But I always like to kind of heads or tails it at when I hear their energy, right? Good morning. I'm sorry, I was looking for Rich.
Stephen, can I tell him who's calling?
Yeah, sure. My name is Henry. I'm a local investor here in town. I was calling him about the property.
Hold on a moment.
Thank you. Hello, Rich.
Hello?
Rich, my name is Henry. I'm a local investor here in town, and I was just calling you about the property on.
Okay.
I'm going through a 1031 exchange with a partner of mine. Just wanted to give you a quick ring to see if you might consider selling the property.
Well, I guess everything's for sale, yes, but I'm not actively selling it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I'd imagine I'd see it on the open market if you were actively selling it.
Right.
So do you happen to have a number you might consider?
I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you. I just sold 2 properties, 1031s.
Oh, nice.
932 State Road and 759. So,
what type of properties were those? Were those similar to this one?
Yeah, medical office, and 759 was just office, straight office, yeah.
Got it. And then 33 is also medical, correct?
Medical and office, yes.
Okay, fantastic. In a perfect world, I mean, I know you did 1031 exchange on those properties, so you ended up buying some other stuff locally, or what'd you do with it?
No, I did Delaware stuff, ESPs.
Oh, okay, understood. Sounds like a nice, easy, passive investment, my friend.
It is, yeah. I sold 2 Alexander City University the same way.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's 15,000 square feet. I've got some vacancies now that I'm working on. So my thought was once I get them filled, then I would come up with a number. If somebody wants to take a flyer on a property that has some vacancies, you know, we can work it off the square feet.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually prefer with vacancies, actually. So just to be super clear with you, to make sure you and I are on the same page, you said it was 15,000 square feet? 15,000? Okay.
On 3 floors.
And how much vacancy is currently in the building?
Right now, I've got 4,000 square feet on the 2nd floor.
The remaining tenants that are in the building, they're on decent leases right now, and everybody wants to stay, or?
Yeah, some of them have been here 20 years or more, so I don't think they're going anywhere.
Sounds about right. Some long-term tenants. I love that.
Yeah, I had one bankruptcy on the 3rd floor that I'm still working on. And the 2nd floor was Yeah, a COVID-related issue.
I understand. Really quick with the bankruptcy. I'm imagining they're probably not paying.
No, my attorney just served them. So yeah, that's going to free up about another 1,300 square feet. No, I think it will free up 1,300 square feet there.
So, I mean, if I was able to take all this problem off your hands for a good price, it sounds like you'd at least consider it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I can wait. It may take me 6 months or more to, get these leases addressed. But if somebody says, I'm active, I'll take the chance. And, obviously there's a big discount to that buyer.
I mean, do you happen to have some type of number in mind?
I was waiting for you to give me one.
I look at it like this. I'm like walking into a very dark cave with no lights on. I have some details about the building. I always joke around. It's like, what I don't want to do is scare you, right? We're walking in the dark together and I don't want to scare you. My intention here is like, based on everything you're telling me, I'm still imagining you still have some pretty decent rent roll, right? Let's say 15,000 minus 5,000 worth of rough square feet that probably is giving you some trouble. You got 10,000 square feet, probably at a decent rent rate. So you must be bringing in somewhere in the vicinity of, hold on one second, 10,000. Probably bringing in around 10 a month, right? 10,000 a month?
More than that, yes. More than that.
15,000? I mean, like, I'm just trying to get a gauge so I can run some quick numbers.
The rest of the space is, most of it's working out about $2 per foot per month.
Okay, got it. Hold on one second. So I'll do the numbers off of that.
But I'm not selling it as an investment property because it makes no sense because of the vacancy. But if you want to say, listen, it's 15,000 square feet, 3-story elevator service space, I'm going to give you X dollars a foot, and then we could probably make a deal.
If I was even able to pay you somewhere in the vicinity of like 150, 160 a foot right now, given all the vacancy and the situation, plus, which would put you at a pretty decent, even if as a straight investment, is that something you could consider?
I sold 932 State Road for $360 a foot.
Okay.
That was fully leased. I sold 759 State Road, 5,000 square feet with no leases for $300 a foot. So 160 seems a little bit light for me. For me, I'd be better to hold out and get my leases in.
I mean, if I was closer to 200 or in that range, where do you feel like I need to be in order for you to make sense of it?
200, we could probably talk. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you're looking around the 3 million mark.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Why don't we do this really quickly? And you said it brings in, I'm just reflecting on the notes we talked about, $2 a foot, roughly, on the remaining 9,700 square feet. Okay. So really quickly, what I want to do is I'm going to call my banker up and see what numbers we can do. And just between you and I, if it doesn't make sense to me, I hold a license. So I mean, my partner could just buy this straight up because I know he's got a little bit more cash in the bank than I do personally. And I don't want to hold him up.
Are you a realtor or not?
I hold a license, but I'm not trying to call you as a broker. I'm not looking for a listing or anything like that. I'm just saying.
You could probably do better marketing it than I can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to put this in front of my partner. I think this would be pretty exciting for him. Let me see what he says, and I'll try to get as close to that 3 million mark as possible.
Trying to meet or not?
He is. So let me see. And I have another friend actually who's not, who would probably buy this cash, but let me find out. I'm going to do some digging on it. Let me do 2 things before I let you go really quickly. Hold on. I'm just going to, what is the best email address for you so I can put a contract in your hands? I'm going to do some quick numbers and calculations with our banker and see what I can do for you, Rich. And I'll shoot you a text with my contact information. That way you have it. Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Rich. Have a fantastic day. I'll talk to you soon. Great conversation there. I have a lot of notes on this deal. Looks really, really interesting to me. I think there's a big opportunity for us to broker a deal in this situation. I don't know how close to the 3 million mark I can get, but I know that there's definitely a good deal, right? So quick circumstances, right? Called them up and I said I was an investor. What I have found is that typically with situations when you're calling a gatekeeper, I have found that being the investor over a broker, I'm an investor who happens to have a license. That's not an incorrect statement, okay? I'll say I'm an investor because typically they'll pass me along a little bit easier. And this guy also happens to, be totally open to a 1031 exchange, which helps out a lot. 15,000 square feet. He's looking for $3 million. So that's 200 a foot. And he's already getting almost a 5.5 cap day one. What's interesting is that at 15,000 square feet times $2 a foot times 12 gives me $360,000 per year times 0.75, 270 divided by a 6 cap. All right, 4.5 million. That sounds about right. Yeah, so this building divided by 15,000 feet would put me at 300 a foot. Okay, that sounds about right. I think we can get a deal done here.
Yeah, quick question, Henry. So now for this one, are you gonna you bring your buyer over? Are you gonna approach this as the broker on this section, submit a typical contract, or you do kind of what you discussed in the last meeting with the like a double closing, like a sign the contract kind of deal?
At this magnitude, unless this guy goes, listen, Henry, I will accept $1.5 million. My first offer was about $1.5 million, which would have been a steal for this property. I would have cut a check for $1.5 million and 5 cash tomorrow. Double closes to me are typically like, if you make enough money where you could double close, you might as well just try to find enough money to buy it yourself. The smaller deals, you could just do an assignment, but like this type of big kind of transaction, I wouldn't do a double close. Because listen, I can also, in my mind, if I can offer him 2.8 million, right? My head goes immediately. If he's willing to accept 3, I maybe get him down to 2.8. And I can make a 6% commission at $3 million, which is $180,000, right? As a broker.
Gotcha.
Or maybe I get my buyer to 3.2 and I can make 3.2 at 6%, right? That's where my head's at.
I have 2 questions. So the first one was, do you think it's too direct to ask them like gross and net just straight out?
I get this question a lot, and my agents, on my team ask that question to me a lot because they're like, well, he wouldn't give me any information. I'm like, listen, you got to build some type of relationship with the person before they just start blurting out some really personal information over the phone. So typically what I have found is I can ask pretty direct details about the building, nothing too personal, something I can find online, like a lot of this type of stuff. All that is fine. I'll throw out numbers about his gross income. I don't know if you heard me do that, just to try to like pick his brain a little bit and see if he'll say higher or lower. He told me it was $2 a foot. So I got his gross income number roughly. Now, if I call him back, right? I say, hey, listen, I got a contract for you at $3 million. My guy's interested. Just to clarify though, to make sure I can get this contract over to you, I need to confirm some financials, right? The contract is contingent upon financials. Would you be able to share something with me, right? And I'll go back and I'll do that.
Sure. By saying that you're doing a 1031, I just started cold calling commercial people this week. And I feel like they're like, when they hear 1031 immediately, they're like, their price just shot up because they hear that.
Here's the funny thing. Everything has intrinsic value. At the end of the day, if they want to try to ask for a 4 cap, which in markets like Miami or New York, you might get, or in Jersey, because in Jersey, you won't. If this guy wanted $4 million, right? He's obviously out of his mind, and it's okay. And I'll just move on. And what I'll do is I have a whole list of people where they are super high prices. And every 90 days, my team hits that list. And maybe they're coming down to their senses. But this is also why I stress to everybody. I like to say, if 1031 exchanges is, if you feel pressured about it and you're like, well, I don't want to come off some type of way, it's okay. And you can use one of the other sales scripts, which I don't say anything about a 1031. Like in my investment conversation here, I did bring that up, but also at the same time, it has to reflect it in the financials. And also, this is also why I'm a huge fan of, I just present offers. I don't really care because my income is dictated on how good of a negotiator I am. If I can get him lower in price and I can get my buyer to come in at a good price, there's more money for me to be making on every deal. I used to not care. I used to make 1 point, 2 points and just not care on these big deals. And then I started thinking to myself, I'm like, if I just spent a little bit of extra time negotiating, I can make 4, 5, or 6 points every single time.
Yep. Thank you.
You got it. No problem.
If you're still watching this video, that means to me that you're a committed real estate agent and you're looking to take your life and business to the next level. I'm just curious. Why have you yet to schedule your free, no obligation coaching consultation? All you have to do is simply go in the description down below, and people are telling me this call has been the most unbelievable, the most powerful call they've had in their entire career. And here's just a few of the individuals who have taken full advantage of this call. And my mission is to support as many realtors as possible, build a 6- and 7-figure net income business so that they don't have to rely on this industry anymore for their everyday income. If you're a committed realtor, which I can see like you are, all you have to simply do to take full advantage of this free coaching consultation is to go in the description down below and schedule your free call now.